Yo, what's going on, fellow junkies, and welcome back. Horror Junkies 509, Kyle 13, sitting here with you again, guys. And I'm coming at you guys because I did it. I finally made it happen. I went and watched the new It movie. Today was my day. I hope you guys are having a killer day out there. And I know I did because I finally got to go see this movie. Just so you guys know, this is going to be kind of my thoughts slash review of this movie. I'm going to keep it spoiler free, so if you guys have not seen it yet, you can keep on watching. So I'm going to kind of break this up into pieces on how I want to go ahead and talk about it. I'm going to do overall film. I'm going to talk about the kids. I'm going to talk about Pennywise. And then we'll probably wrap this all up. So going into that, you guys, overall film. I mean, I really enjoyed this film. I'm putting it out there. I really liked it. I feel like it was very well done. It had a very clean look because obviously they put tons and tons of money into it, which is, I don't really care for that much. I would have rather been more of a gritty film, but it worked out because, you got to have your darkness with your light with these kind of movies with kids and evil. So I feel like the overall movie was very, very much darker. You actually get the sense that it is a true evil coming after these kids, a true ancient evil, instead of just a clown. In the original, I kind of felt like it was just a clown, and you don't really find out it's like an ancient evil until the next movie. That might be just me on that one, but for the most part, you definitely feel like the darker tone, more evil, more demonic, more sinister feeling from this, what's being portrayed as the clown and everything that these kids are seeing and they're going through. I feel like this movie was very more well-rounded as far as showing off all the characters. In the first one, I do kind of feel like they stuck to few key people, but they did show bits and pieces of the rest of the characters. But I felt like this is a very well-rounded film of everyone getting their turn, as being what they're afraid of, showing their parts. They all went through hell like with this evil, so I thought they really did a good job with that. And being the fact this is their very first theatrical release of this film, because the original one was a made-for-TV miniseries. No holds barred on this one. You got to see a lot more things that you wouldn't be able to put on TV, and I appreciated that a lot because I am a gore hound, and you got more gore in this movie. I feel like it would be there no matter how any way you slice it. But since it was a made-for-TV movie, they couldn't really show that. They had to really keep that to a minimum. But this one was able to go and show exactly what exactly happened because this was, like I said, no holds barred. It's the best way for me to describe it. And so overall, I mean, I just felt like the tone, the violence that was in it, the overall setting of the evil slash the clown was just very well placed, and I felt like it actually had such an evil, scary tone to it because I mean, I don't know if you guys know this. I'm not afraid of clowns. I never have been. So it was never going to be the clown that was going to scare me in this movie. And so, in the first one, I was never afraid of that one ever because it felt like it was just a clown. This one, I mean, I feel like there was actually something so sinister in this movie that it kind of got me that little shaky feeling. I mean, that was about it. But I mean, it got me to that emotion in a sense, just at the cusp. I wasn't crying or anything in the movie. Could have been. Moving on to the next topic, the kids. I really, really enjoyed the kids. I thought they were very well picked out to play their characters, and I feel like they did very well. I really feel like this one is so much better acting than the original one for that made-for-TV movie, but of course it was a made-for-TV movie, so you didn't need to pick the best actors. But these kids, I feel like, were very seasoned. They felt right, and they looked good in their parts. The only crazy thing about it is I feel like there was so much more swearing than there needed to be. That kind of, took me out of the moment a little bit. Like, Richie was the swearer. Like, everyone else sweared a little bit here and there, but Richie was the full-on potty mouth. And Richie's played by the guy from Stranger Things, so, there's a familiar face there, and so that was really nice. But the kids, I mean, they really felt like they had a really good camaraderie, and I really liked feeling that because, like I said, it gave me the feels of just, I wish I never had to grow up and I could be a kid forever because, I lived like that. I had a group of friends. We rode our bikes through our neighborhoods and, we got into trouble. We got into mischief. Obviously, we weren't being chased down by ultimate ancient evil or anything like that. But, I had that. I had the Stand By Me feel. Like, it was really wonderful. And I just loved how they went about that. A few things they did here and there that I kind of irked me a little bit. I won't go into detail because I don't want to spoil it. But honestly, to the points of me disliking certain things, it's just me nitpicking as me being a horror fanatic, and that's just how it is. Um, so, like I said with the kids, I mean, I really felt like they felt really good. I loved the character that the kid that got to play Ben, the fat kid. I really enjoyed him. Um, I mean, the guy who played Bill was great. Obviously, the kid from Stranger Things that played Richie was just great. I really felt like they all just played their parts, and they kind of messed with the characters a little bit, which is fine. I don't think any part of it really ruined it in any way, shape, or form, unless you guys are just avid fans. But like I said, I haven't read the book, so I don't know what the ultimate say so is, what these kids were doing at the time. So to get to my last part, Pennywise, because that's the biggest one. That's gonna. I feel like this is gonna be one of those arguments for the ages. And for me, I feel like I mean, Tim Curry, amazing. He's the best part of the original movie. The rest of it, I could give two flying ones about. But Tim Curry's Pennywise was what carried the original one for me. But to me, it feels like, the Jack Nicholson Joker and the Heath Ledger Joker. It's the same exact situation to me. But to me, it's just, they portrayed two different Pennywises. I mean, to me, Tim Curry's was evil, but it was very light-hearted. I mean, like, he was very bright and, very trying to be, like, funny as well as scary. I mean, but Pennywise, I think, in the new one was just a very demented, bad person before. And, it was just, he was just the ultimate evil. Pennywise, I feel like, if we tried hard enough, we could turn him back to the good side. For Tim Curry's, but I don't have a bad thing to say about Tim Curry. He's still the number one Pennywise, just because the new Pennywise didn't try to portray Tim Curry's Pennywise. That's how I look at it. So I feel like he played his very own Pennywise, just like you could never compare the Jack Nicholson Joker to the Heath Ledger Joker because they're two completely different Jokers, in my personal opinion. So that is my big thing about Pennywise. I feel like they both did such a great job. Pennywise's shoes, or not Pennywise's shoes, but Tim Curry's shoes were too big to fill, and there's just no way that they could have possibly have taken that and done it to that extreme. So, they went and did their own thing, and I respect that wholeheartedly. I did not want to see them just try to remake Tim Curry. So I'm really happy with how they went with it, and I had another point with this whole thing, but I mean that's the best way I can describe that whole thing is just like the Jack Nicholson Heath Ledger thing, but two different Pennywises and it works. I felt like it was very well done. Like a few things. I mean, I've been obviously been talking about like what I love about this movie and like the few things I don't like about it. I obviously hate CGI. I mean, I'm a typical old school horror fan. But, it's just like movies like stupid Avatar, because I freaking hate that movie. It's movies like that ruin our horror movies now because they think we want CGI because we made that movie so popular. I hate that movie with a bloody passion. I'm going off topic. But, some of the CGI just works. I felt like it was okay. Some of the other things, like, with the whole Pennywise, like, very piranha mouth teeth. I saw the picture before I went into the theater. I hated it, but I felt like it worked in this because, I mean, like, with Tim Curry's thing, they had to make him very human because, I mean, they didn't have the technology to do stuff like that or even do a good prosthetic like that. So I felt like that was so much better because you got to see that it's not a man, it's not a clown, it's something else. And so that's why I feel like it was okay. And, like, some of the other CGI stuff is whatever. I'm just curious to see if it's in the book. That is my biggest curiosity. But overall, you guys, I really feel like if you loved the nostalgic feeling of being a kid, you wanted a little bit of fear, if you guys wanted just something like a little bit different than the TV one, I think it's really what you're getting here. I wasn't expecting something just hit out of the park, different completely. I mean, because obviously it's a remake of a book, and I feel like they went closer to the book from my understanding and things I've been reading. And honestly, I was watching an interview with Stephen King earlier, and he loves this movie. He went and watched it twice, and so honestly, anybody's negative opinion on this movie is therefore just non-existent to me. After Stephen King, the guy who knows this story better than anybody, loves this movie, I don't know what else to tell you. So that's going to probably wrap it up for my review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought of this movie down in the comments. I mean, I feel like overall it was a really great movie. I can't wait to watch it again. Stephen King watched it twice, so maybe I should too. Makes sense to me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Horror Junkies 509, Kyle 13 signing out just until next time, you guys. And, man, I'm definitely going to go see this movie again, and I hope I get the same feeling I did. It was a good time. You guys have a good one. Yo, what's going on, fellow junkies, fellow horror fans, subscribers, the new and the old? I hope you guys really enjoyed what you saw here. If you guys want to leave me a like and a comment, let me know that you enjoyed it. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification button so you guys can come back and see me again. Horror Junkies 509, Kyle the 13th. That's right, I'm a horror lifer.